Megastar Magazine TV.
Hello and welcome to Megastar Magazine TV. My name is Monique Aigbe. In the news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, to participate in the 2026 edition of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, which commenced on Monday, 12 January 2026. Top officers of Abu Dhabi and some Nigerian ministers, including the Minister of Budget and Planning, Atiku Bagudu, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Mohammed, welcomed President Tinubu. The 2026 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, with the theme The Nexus of Next, All Systems Go, is a global platform that brings together world leaders, policymakers, investors to advance dialogue and action on sustainable development, climate action, energy transition, and inclusive economic growth. The visit further reinforces the strong diplomatic and economic ties between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates, while positioning Nigeria as an active contributor to global conversations on sustainable development. Defense Minister General Christopher Musa, retired, has assured Nigerians will overcome insecurity despite the country facing multiple security challenges, including terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. The minister spoke alongside Most Reverend Uche Dano Kafo, who appealed to the Nigerian military to uphold democracy and resist any thoughts of toppling the government, unlike recent coup in some West African countries. Both leaders addressed worshippers at a Thanksgiving interdenominational church service in Abuja, commemorating the 2026 Armed Forces celebration and Remembrance Day at the National Christian Center. The Olu of Warri, His Majesty Ogiame Atuwase III, has said that he can no longer keep quiet while his kingdom suffers continued marginalization and suppression by oil companies who have exploited its resources for over 60 years. The Olu of Warri spoke at Jakpa community of Warri North local government area of Delta State during a scheduled visit and lamented that the Itsekiri nation, by the records, confirmed what the nation already knows, that the tribe called the Itsekiri in the western corner of the Niger Delta, despite being one of the geese that lays the golden eggs for Nigeria, yet remains poor, frustrated and neglected. He called on different oil companies to encourage the land by developing it and appreciated the amiable governor of Delta State, His Excellency, Elder Sheriff Oborowori, and the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for bringing development and knowing that the Itsekiri people exist and encourage them to continue to do more of such infrastructural development in their riverine communities. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has suspended its plan to commence strike on January 12th. The development comes days after the National Industrial Court of Nigeria issued an interim order restraining NARD and its members from embarking on the planned strike pending the hearing of a substantive motion fixed for January 21st. The association had earlier announced the strike in an update issued after its Emergency National Executive Council (ENEC) meeting held on January 2nd. United States President Donald Trump will meet with Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado on Thursday, according to White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt. The Venezuelan opposition figure has played little role in debates about the country's future since the U.S. abducted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro earlier this month. The opposition leader has sought to cultivate close ties with the Trump administration, dedicating her Nobel Prize to Trump, and more recently stating that she would like to share the prize or give it to him outright. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has alleged that nationwide protests have turned violent and bloody to give an excuse for United States President Donald Trump to intervene militarily in the country. Araghchi told foreign diplomats in Tehran that the violence spiked over the weekend, but the situation is now under control. Authorities have not confirmed the number of demonstrators who have lost their lives, but opposition activists based outside the country said the death toll is higher and includes hundreds of protesters. The Algerian Football Federation has confirmed that it has submitted formal complaints to both the Confederation of African Football (CAF) and FIFA over refereeing decisions in its 2025 Africa Cup of Nations quarter-final clash against Nigeria. The complaints were accompanied by a request for an investigation to clarify the controversial decisions and ensure appropriate action is taken in line with established regulations. The Algerian Football Federation said they cannot overlook the refereeing decisions in the last match, which raised questions and caused widespread dissatisfaction, as they undermined the credibility of African refereeing and did not serve the image of African football internationally. Confederation of African Football (CAF) said they have collected recent match reports and video evidence indicating potentially unacceptable behavior from some players and officials and has opened an investigation into match incident of quarter-final fixtures between Cameroon and Morocco, as well as Algeria and Nigeria. CAF has referred the matters to the disciplinary board for investigation and has called for appropriate action to be taken if the identified persons were to be found guilty of any wrongdoing, and strongly condemns any inappropriate behavior which occurs during matches. CAF strongly condemns any inappropriate behavior which occurs during matches, especially those targeting the refereeing team or match organizers. Football legend Austin Jeje Okocha's wife beams with joy as their daughter ties the knot with her husband, Leonardo Okorocha, in a civil ceremony held in Lagos. The wedding was attended by close family members and friends, including notable figures like Burna Boy's mother and manager, Botho Gulu, music executive Polo, and high life singer Flavor. The bride father, Austin Jeje Okocha, prayed and congratulated the couple for believing in themselves and encouraging them to use wisdom as they begin their marriage journey. The wedding celebration was a beautiful blend of tradition and modern elegance, which got congratulations by fans and well-wishers present and across social media platforms, with many applauding the Okocha's family for their love and commitment. Nigerian music stars Burna Boy, Rema, Yemi Alade, Shali Poppy and Fino emerged among the biggest winners at the 9th edition of the All African Music Awards held on Sunday night in Lagos State. Rema was the standout act of the night, clinching 3 major awards, winning the Best Male Artist in Western Africa, Artist of the Year, and Best African Artist, Duo or Group in African R&B Soulful Countdown. The ceremony held at the Convention Center Echo Hotels and Suites, Victoria Island, featured performances by several notable African artists and showcased African musical diversity and cultural heritage, with Lagos hosting the 9th edition awards for the 3rd time, following previous editions in Ghana and Senegal. That has been the news. For more information, follow our social media platforms showing on your screen.